Okay, we're good? We're good, alright. Hello everybody! Today is a Minecraft Let's Play. I know, crazy, I don't do this very often. This one is actually on my very own custom survival/adventure map. It should be a lot of fun. It's a pretty original idea, and I've done a lot of work on it. It is still work in progress, but I figure I've done a lot that I could already make a series out of it. So I'll do this for like a Season 1, and then it'll get a reboot in Season 2 once it's completely done. In which it'll involve a lot of new zones, a lot of new characters, more story development, the lot. But as of right now, I need to switch to survival. Yeah, wait, I forgot to do that. Makes it look like I'm cheating, even though I'm just the one who built this map. Alright, so this is the starting area. And so, let's see. I should grab the book. I should probably rename this to like Quest Book or Almanac, because this is all the different quests that are currently available. Then I step here. There we go, I just had to jump. And I am started off on the map. So this is the first area, and it's one of very few areas where you can get wood, dirt, or anything like that. It's almost the only area. If I don't get it here, it's at the very top. I'm also going to do a /time set day, because it should be day right now anyway. It's not supposed to start at nighttime. I don't know why it did when I could swear I just set the time today, but whatever. I might get blown up by a creeper. Now, I will say that's actually not where the spawn point is once you join. Once you're inside of the world, you actually will respawn here as well. I should actually probably look around for stuff, because I haven't been to the very first area I made, because I've been working on this for several weeks now. But if I remember correctly, some of the chests you can find, one of them has an iron axe, but I could be misremembering. It is definitely a possibility. So, I have started. I know there are axolotls and glow squids that can spawn in this river, but I'm not going to worry too much about it right now, because they don't spawn very commonly. More worried about just getting out of the water for starters. Alright, let's see, there's a chest over there. You know, it kind of feels like cheating knowing where everything is. But then I remember how hard I made this map. You can have max netherite and die very easily later on. If you're not careful, it doesn't matter what you have, though. Because this map is not designed with normal enemies. There are enemies out there in full enchanted netherite with special command block effect boosts. There's some crazy powerful stuff I can come across. So, you know, I gotta be very careful lest I want to die. And of course, that is not something I want. If I remember correctly, do gold helmets actually technically give more? They do. They give an extra half. And they look cooler, so. Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple areas where you can kind of tell that this is man-made by me, such as like over there where the chunks are a little off looking, especially around the roof area. But there are a lot of really cool biomes and enemies I made. There's actual classes of creatures. There's a cave village you can find, but it's much higher up than this. I think it's something like 50 blocks up from here. I forget the Y levels of the first areas because it has been a long time. I've mainly been working down in the negative Ys recently because this is on the most recent cave update and you can actually go all the way down to negative 60. Of course, the way it works, it's filled out with bedrock, so I have to actually customly build stuff. So technically right now you can only get down to like negative 40, but even that, when it goes all the way up to 256 right now, is like a lot. It's almost 300 vertical blocks of travel distance you can go. And of course, you got to keep in mind the fact that aside from that, there's also the fact that not all of it's actually in this specific area. There are lots of command block teleports to different areas because they just didn't fit within the area. So, you know, it's even more than that in reality. Plus, there's the fact that it's all a 64 block radius, like 32, 32, or 64, 64, however it works. You know what I'm trying to say, though. So, needless to say, I have a ton of range. Just like a lot of space to do stuff. Yeah, It's LT to get glowberries. I'm going to harvest some of these because I do want to have food. My commentary has probably been very boring so far, it occurs to me, because I'm talking in this really angsty voice. So sorry about that. I just got a little distracted just talking about stuff and being boring, not exciting. Woo, bang, 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 pow. So while I'm just getting my first starting stuff, because that isn't very interesting, as I was just joking about, I'm going to start plugging stuff. So most of you guys who watch my Rosic productions have probably at least at some point heard about my Twitch. Well, I don't know if I've actually explained it very in depth yet. I've pretty much just quickly done a plug here and there so that people know it exists. However, in reality, it's actually something really interesting. We did something a lot like the Dream SMP, but with our own unique take, our own story, own people, own members. We even have some different rules and setup, like you can't even use netherite. But both that and the end will eventually be unlocked, like later on. It's just to keep people more interested. We bring in random members. It's also treated as factions on top of a roleplay server, so it's both them at the same time. It sounds chaotic and like it wouldn't work, but we have a system that works very well for it. I won't bother explaining it right now, because frankly, you guys probably don't care. I will also mention I have a Discord. I will be putting the link in the description of this video. If you join that Discord, you actually can join the ELSMP. You just have to go to the sign-ups and be one of the first 5 people every other month to ask. And then we'll go through some stuff, like run you through a test, talk to you, get to know you a little bit, and decide if you're worth inviting. Because if it's decided that you're just somebody toxic who's probably going to destroy stuff, we're not going to let you in. But if you're somebody who seems like a fun guy, is interesting, and definitely won't just destroy stuff, you'll be allowed to join. On top of that, there's also some other streamers. I'll put those guys in the description as well, because I forget the exact names. But I know there's at least 3 of us that do stream. That being me, Eel, and Gene. I believe Wrecker does too, but he wasn't streaming on our most recent stream, if anybody is wondering. That was satisfying. Oh, frick. I almost just died. You know what I think would be cool? If glowberries could actually be used to make spectral arrows. Because I feel like that'd be a great way to make it so that people could make them, you know? Because, I mean, if you think about it, they're a glowing type of berry. So, like, what if when you ate it, it gave you, like, 5 seconds of the glowing effect? And then you could also, like, use it to make a spectral potion, which you can then put on arrows to make spectral arrows. I'm just saying, it would make sense, and it would be pretty cool. I don't think enough people have thought about that. Because technically there's already a way to get spectral arrows, you just gotta trade with piglins, but like, that would be an actual way of crafting them then. As well as their potions, and even just a simple way of getting it. Because it's not like glowberries are crazy easy to get either. So it's not like just anybody can make spectral arrows suddenly. It still would be something at least semi-hard to get, but it would still be like actually possible, you know? Just think it would be a good idea. Alright, enough of my rambling, I'm gonna move on. This iron's all very tempting, but I know I can pretty much get full iron gear at the village, and I'll probably find some along the way as well, so I'm just gonna start mining. Instead of worrying about it. Because, frankly, I can't be bothered to. Let's see. I think, well, I know there's some goats that, can be found in the village. I don't know about mob spawns, though. I think some might be able to spawn way up at the snow-capped peaks in a couple spots. But I'm not going to be there for a while because it's all the way up at what used to be max height. Of course, that is going to become the Frostbite Cavern in Volume 3, and then it'll go even higher up into some massive snowy peaks and craziness. That's just the point where everything's like very clearly becoming frozen over and stuff. Because, as I may or may not have remembered to mention, this is not just a Let's Play survival series with a interesting twist. It actually is also an adventure story. So it's not just survival. which I think is part of what makes the map so interesting, is the fact that it's actually not just some survival map, no. It is an adventure map, and it's one that I like to think I did quite well at making. It's not as if it's my first map or anything, so I mean, I shouldn't be too terrible. There's a certain point where if I was that bad, I'd feel bad about it, because it's not as if this is my first time map making. Like, not even close to my first time at all. I don't know what I just said. It was definitely not a coherent sentence, I know that much. At all. Like, I don't know if that was the American taking over in me, or freaking me just not being able to speak English to save my life, but it was definitely at all. Making me sound like the most southern man alive. Okay, that's some iron. I will say, I think that having these tools at the start is a good idea. But for those of you watching, let me know if you think it's a good idea, because I do plan on it eventually. I don't know about just yet. Eventually, though, I am going to actually make this map public and downloadable, so anybody would be able to play on it. I know, crazy. Why would anybody do that? Oh no, that's a terrible idea. But I'm gonna do it. You best believe I'm gonna do it, my friend. Okay, let's see what's in the quest book that I've maybe done. I've entered the spire. I have not found a structure. Okay, so I have the very first one done and no others. This could take a minute to scroll up to. This is the one thing I don't like about this book. I have to scroll all the way up just to cross out one of the things. I've entered the spire, and that is literally all I've done so far. Okay. I mean, to be fair, it's not like that's surprising or anything. Oh, hey, how did a goat get down here, and why is it killing itself? I must not be that far from the village up above. Or that goat just jumped real far. Both are possibilities. I'm actually going to go down here for this iron. I kind of need iron. That amethyst in the corner is like some serious foreshadowing. I don't really want to explain why, because while this map, its design isn't really a surprise to me, because obviously I built it, you guys got no clue what to expect, because, well, you haven't played it. I'm just hoping I can get pretty decent gear, because it's going to be a while before I can enter the unique areas. Because before, when I played it, I kind of tried to speedrun to make sure stuff was working. But honestly, even in like full diamond, I will get beat the frick up even in just the first unique area. So, well, technically second, but the first one, I don't even know if I'd count. So, mind you, I suppose in that area you can still get like full diamond gear just from the chests. Even so, it's definitely not the sort of thing where you want to frick around and find out, if you know what I mean. My pickaxe is almost dead. I'm probably going to have to build a furnace and make a new iron pick. That sucks. It's fine. Honestly, actually, I probably have enough materials that once it breaks, I should probably just build around the side to try to get to the village, because I know there's a ton of iron equipment there, so I can probably just find an iron pick or two instead of wasting iron. Mind you, it's not as if iron's all that hard to find, since, you know, it's all caves. Well, technically some of it's like air pocket gaps on the caves and junk, but still. I will mention, you're going to notice this is a lot like a sort of skyblock map, except it's got a lot more content in it, and it's closer to a chunk than a block. And that it is a chunk. Technically, it's a chunk of 64 blocks, though. 64 in both directions, so 64 times 64, that's your bottom area. Then, like, the middle section goes up to 45, and then the top is 32. Oh yeah, I'm already right by the village. Convenient. I do want to flip this around, though, so that I don't collide with the little balcony there. See, keep in mind as well that I started like Y100 and I'm at almost like 200 by the time I've gotten up to this village. And as you can see, there are villagers here, so I can actually do trading and stuff on a map like this. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. There's also supposed to be an iron golem, but I don't know. Don't even try to figure out what I said. Not even I know. Alright, now I have... Oh, really? Chain and gold are the same durability? That's whack. Oh! Freaking spider. Pray this, you freaking casual. Sorry, I'm sure that made everyone cringe. Iron chain. I already have chain boots, so I don't need that. Do want that, though. And that. Throw some of these extra blocks I have, and items, of course, that I just don't need on me away because I just don't need them on me. Alright, I've already got some half-decent gear. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to actually find anything in there. I just kind of opened it. Ooh, no. There's an almond. Ooh, I actually thought that was going to explode. I barely got him. I need to be careful of that. That is a powder snowdrop. I have made a couple of them scattered throughout this area. That'll drop you like hundreds of blocks back down. So, yeah, don't fall into any powder snow holes. You'll regret it. And I have set it up in such a way that if you're very careful, it's not too hard to avoid them. But if you aren't paying enough attention, you will fall right in them. So, gotta be careful lest you want to live inside of a pit that you'll never come out of. There we go. See, and as you can see by now, there's actually like a good bit of villagers too. I don't remember. Did I put anything in those barrels? No. Did I put anything in that chest? I already loaded it. Now, I'm sure you've noticed by now that I'm purposely ignoring the potatoes. It's not that I think they're bad, but because I don't want to end up eating them. Because those are pretty much the only farmable crops on the entire map. So. You fricker. That's what happens. I don't know why I'm censoring myself so much. I've cursed before on my sites. Whatever. But yeah, make sure to check out my Twitch. Make sure to check out Eel's Twitch, whatever. It's all in the description. There's a lot of important description stuff today. Deal with it. I don't know how I've ended up with full chain instead of full iron. I could have sworn there was a lot of iron stuff around here. Whatever. I don't really care that much. Better armor is better armor. What? That moment when spiders just whoop. Okay, well, it seems all the goats have escaped. That's a shame. Don't know what I would have used them for, but I would have used them for something. Now I can't use them for nothing. I know, it's the saddest southern tale you've ever heard. Also, if you think the spyglass seems useless for a map that only ever goes 64 blocks out, trust me, it's useful. It's just not going to be useful for a long time. Oh, I knew there was iron gear. I freaking knew there was, dude. You all called me crazy, but I knew. I always knew. Alright, I need to start bailing some stuff out. Oh, perfect. If I want to get rid of stuff, what better place than in lava? Sure, I never have to see its disgusting looking junk again. It's honestly disgusting. Get that out of my inventory, brother. Now, despite this not being technically full iron gear, I do actually consider this much to be full gear because chain's pretty much just as good as iron. And I have lots of picks and an axe, which is more what it's talking about is to get a pickaxe and an axe. So, that is another goal I can mark off. Oh, I can also mark off the find a village and find a structure goals as well. Because, obviously, the village is obviously a structure, but it's also a village. I know. It's crazy, bro. So I can check mark off these 3. Man, finding the village really unlocks a lot of goals. There we go. Now, I am going to want to head further up because obviously there's another type of tree up there, as well as more loot, including the first legendary weapon of the game being up there, which y'all know I want that. Freaking, geez, it is a far drop at this point. Do not slip. Don't know why I said that like freaking Snake from The Simpsons. I don't know why I just forgot who he was for a minute. Alright, here's to hoping the gear I have is good enough to take on the Storm Archer if it hasn't just fallen in powder snow. Because last time it like fell off the map or something and I just couldn't find it. Which is fine, because its legendary weapon is actually in a nearby chest, not on it. Since I couldn't get it to take its legendary weapon, the Storm Bow. So, literally, it just is freaking sitting in one of the couple shulkers up there. Along with some pretty good gear. But the Storm Archer itself is very powerful. It's wearing like basic enchanted diamond. It has thorns on it. I believe I called it frost armor. Whatever the case, it's up there. I don't know if it's even still alive or if it killed itself in the snow again. Because last time when I speedran this, it just killed itself. Which had the upside of making it so I could just get the Storm Bow, which even has infinity on it, so it's a great bow. But on the downside, I couldn't get the frost armor, which is a very good set of armor. That is for the early game. Because frost armor is enchanted diamond, and you know that's just good. It's no maxed out netherite with freaking command block effect bonuses, which you can get in the really late game, but it's good. It's very good. It actually might have been enchanted iron. Either way, it's a good early game set. Ah! How did I live? I'm not even gonna question it. I'm just gonna be glad I'm not dead. I'm sure you could like hear the panic in my voice as I fell when I just went. Like man's turned into a freaking quick dry machine or something. I don't know. I'm just talking to keep freaking discussion going in the video because you know dead space for the audio is just not gonna sound good and it's gonna make you guys bored and then you're gonna leave and I'm gonna lose viewers and viewer attention and subscribers. Yeah, no, I couldn't care less about that stuff though. Freaking, I do this because I like doing it. And that's why I don't upload all the time, because when I'm uploading it's because I felt like uploading and like to. I don't upload for other people's sake. Like some kind of lame-o. Frick, there's a lot of gravel here. I guess I'm just gonna be building up for a minute. It's fine. Really, I'd rather be building up than, digging up anyway. It's quicker. Only problem is it exhausts resources, and, you know, just definitely don't have enough of those to just use them whenever I feel like it. Stone's kind of an exception. You can always get more stone. But, like, especially, like, wood and stuff, you should never use wood unless you, like, absolutely have to in this, pack. Because if you don't use it just when you have to, you can find yourself running completely dry of wood very quickly. Because there really isn't that much wood you can get in the starting area. And the only other place you can get it without growing more trees is if you go way down to the mineshaft, which is right by the bottom of the map. And even that really doesn't have that much wood for a mineshaft. Like, it's crazy how little wood parts generated in that mineshaft. It surprised me. I freaking forgot what I was gonna say. Alright, well, I'm gonna start digging up it again. I'm getting pretty close now, because 256 is the current top of the map, since I've updated it to its new 310 cap. Oh yeah, there's also the trees up here. How could I forget? I legitimately forgot those were a thing, even though I was literally digging up to the area they're in right now. I don't know how, but I did. It was like it was magic. Alright, well, I'm about to breach surface, so I'm going to start digging this way. Okay, so there's goats up here, and there's no storm archer, so it must have killed itself again. Alright, in the third volume, I'm going to have to make another loaded version of it. Oh, hey, first try, I found the storm bow. See, as you can see, it's not the most overpowered thing, but for early game, Infinity Punch 2 and Power 2 is pretty good. And then there's all the iron ingots, the quartz, and of course, the best part, the slowness arrows. Technically, there's snowballs too, but that's just one of those filler items you put in chests to make it feel less empty. So, I do gotta be careful. I know there's some powder snow in the crater here. See, there's another opportunity to get a spyglass up here as well. I totally forgot that was even a thing. I'm not gonna take it because I just don't need 2 spyglasses. I know, crazy. Wow, there's a lot of iron ingots around here, as well as slowness arrows, which is great. I mean, you can always use slowness arrows whenever you're using an infinity bow, since, you know, it doesn't track that for infinity. Unfortunately. Switch it into my offhand so that I actually know I'm using those instead of normal ones. So the Stormbow is my first legendary weapon of the game. It is very unfortunate that the Storm Archer up and killed itself again, because it means I can't get its good armor, which is the really worth it part of making this trip. Freaking, don't get me wrong, it's a nice bonus, the Stormbow, but it's not as if you can't get better stuff than it without going all the way up here. That said, it does leave another thing I can check off in the book at least, because one of the other achievements is to reach the top of the spire. Right? Yeah, go to the top of the spire. Defeat the Storm Archer just gets checked off by default because, you know, it killed itself. The Bedrock Caves, technically that's the next thing after get Diamond Gear, but the Diamond Gear you can get on your way down there, and then there's also the fact that, yeah, the Bedrock Caves are not somewhere to go for a while. I'm gonna be totally honest here. I am, however, going to use a cheap trick to try to get to the very bottom as quick as possible using some water, because there is somewhere I can go down there that's not too dangerous and I can get a lot of good stuff from, and that's the Amethyst Caves, which is also where you find the Bedrock Caves from. Bedrock Caverns, whatever. You find those through Crystal Caves. And don't get me wrong, Crystal Caves itself, great area, looks cool, good loot. I did not set up the enemies very good in that area. There's no unique enemies there. It's kind of boring. It's a cool area. It looks cool. It gives you good loot, but it gives you way better loot than it should, considering the fact that there's literally just no enemies. Just none. I up and neglected to make custom enemies for Crystal Cavern. I know, it's lame. Of course, almost the whole place is pitch black, so you got some natural spawning stuff, but that hardly makes up for how little interesting things actually show up there. Which, as you may or may not be realizing, is a large part of this map being it's an adventure map. It's much more about the cool looking stuff than the frickin' stuff itself. Because this one, of course, I didn't build a map that's super boring, just slightly different twist. I wanted to make this thing really just unique to me, really cool, you know, have the whole shebang, not just be boring. Because who wants a boring map? Am I right, gamers? Sorry, that was cringy even to me. You could, like, hear it as it was coming out of my mouth that I thought it was cringy. I don't need that crossbow anymore, but what I do need is a shield and some storage. Because, quite frankly, I don't want to carry everything I have on me at all times. Because, as you may or may not realize by now, key inventory, not on. At least I don't think it's on, it shouldn't be. If it is on, that's fine too, honestly. It doesn't matter that much. But still, I should keep at least one arrow on me, so that if I run out of weakness arrows, I got a backup. I will mention this way of getting down is very risky. Because if I frick it up, well, let me tell you, I ain't coming back. Mind you, I suppose even in this case, when I say I ain't coming back, it has much less meaning than when I'm going to be saying that a lot later, like probably near the end of the season, or series, or whatever I'm going to call it. You get the idea in any case. Alright, I'm probably going to be ending this episode pretty soon as well, because, well, it's definitely felt kind of boring and not that long. In reality, I'm actually already at almost 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go down to Crystal Caverns and leave you guys on a cliffhanger for episode 1. Sucks to be you. You know, you really definitely should not even try to jump down here though, because all the stalactites, dude, you will freaking get shanked. I am going down the right section, right? I think so. I'm gonna go hijack some of that massive waterfall to make things easier for me. I should probably have blocks ready to place. I don't want to just die. See, that right there? That is Crystal Caverns, and it looks like maybe above it is the mine shaft. I can't really tell with that much. I assume it probably is. Yeah, that right there, definitely the mine shaft. So I'm just gonna place the freaking block. Gosh dang. Nope, I actually want to go up, not down. Thank you. Oh, never mind, I got tricked by the spyglass. It's still lower down. I'd much rather lower down than higher up, to be fair. So I hope you guys enjoyed that controller ASMR. I don't know if my mic might not even been picking that up, so I might have just sounded like some weird dumbass just then saying that. Well, if you could hear it, it's funny. If you couldn't hear it, I didn't say shit. You can't prove anything. Wait, this is on video. If people wanted to prove it, they could do so very easily. Oh, whatever. As if I actually care. That is, care if they prove it or not. I should specify. Also, if it hasn't become obvious by now, guys, every single chest on the map is custom. I'm not just getting that lucky with golden apples. That's why I wasn't like, oh my god, I can't believe I found a golden apple first chest, because they're fucking everywhere. One of the best places probably in the map to find golden apples is around here. Because, like, these chests were generated, unless I'm misremembering, pre-117, so the glow berries aren't even actually in there naturally. Unless I am misremembering, and they were. Which, more than possible, it's actually likely. It's very likely. Freaking my brain hole, it's lagging. I'll go down here just for the sake of thinking about it. And I'm glad I did. Immediate freaking chest. Some more gapples in it. Gotta love the looks of that. See, I found like 4 chests and I'm at 15 gapples. If you guys still don't believe that these chests are custom, you must think I got like freaking dream luck. Ooh, another chest over there. I feel like I find so many emeralds. Then I remember most of these chunks are pulled out of extreme hills, and that's probably why. See, copper ingots don't naturally spawn in those chests. So, you sure you don't want to go back on your betting with your friends that I'm actually lying and they're randomly generated because I'm lazy or something? Oh, I actually did remember right. There is a secret area over there. I thought there was. So, there's a secret part of the mine shaft which actually has some enchanted gapples and other good shit. But I wasn't sure if I actually remembered right and if there was one over on this side. Or if it was like in the middle somewhere. Because once again, a lot of this area I haven't really worked on in a while. Also, to answer your question of how do they generate previously generated chunks, that's how. So now you know. They just generate a shit ton of bedrock. Oh, is this not the secret area? No, it is. See, there's even a netherite ingot and some saplings that you can't get anywhere else here. As well as a food type you can't get anywhere else here. So, you know, definitely a place you shouldn't forget about if you ever have the availability to play this map for yourselves. Ooh, I almost just jumped right off. That would have fucking sucked. Oh, hey, did I get that chest? I don't know that I did. Nope. Get that copper, get that gold, get those gapples, get those torches. I'm not worried about the redstone, not worried about extra torches. Okay, I'm pretty close over. Oh, don't tell me I just ran out. Of course I did. It's fine. I'm on solid ground. I can just dig over. I want to dig on the outside so I don't have to waste torches. Mind you, either way I will hit it, so it's not a huge deal. It's more preference than anything. If you catch my drift, my friend. No! Oh, I could have used my water bucket. Well, frick. Oh, hey, inventory is on. Still, though, that gave me a freaking heart attack. Alright, guys, well, I did just die. I'm already up to 35 minutes. I'm going to end it here. I really enjoyed this episode. I plan to make more. You might not have enjoyed it much, but believe me, you'll like the later episodes, because that's when the interesting stuff happens. See you later.